I'm gonna let you watch and explain how I do a blindfold match. Anybody who's interested. I'll kind of explain it as I go, so that way you can get an idea of like what's going on and what I'm kind of dealing with. So we'll go into the map, see what map we have. It'll probably be a big map. I haven't had a small map in forever, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Although Erangel is pretty fun. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a video because of that, but I don't want to edit. I don't want to cut or anything like that. I kind of just want to show how the process goes and to see how people find the video. So we'll see how this goes. Right now, just going to goof around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bring up my map. I tend to guess here all the time, obviously, because that's all you can do. But for playing as long as I have, your best chance of being in circle, and it doesn't mean it'll happen, is to go like close to center. So I'm going to land right there. And the reason why I make that decision is just based off of that. If the circle is basically anywhere in here, I have a shot to be in it. And that's kind of always my goal when I do these guesses. But here's the thing. The circle could be up here. The circle could be up here. Oh, the circle could actually be down here on the island, which happens a lot. It could be over here. So the guess is just that. It's a guess. I could be absolutely way off, or I could get really lucky and I could be center or near center circle. You just never know. But that's why I pick the spots I pick on maps. It's all guesses, but it's based off of like just playing the game and understanding where circles tend to be or not tend to be. So we'll kind of go from there. This all came about from a viewer challenge, actually. And my very first one was absolutely crazy. I was looking up like this and down like this almost the entire match. Then on my own time, I kind of learned how to get my horizon line for my viewers. And that's what I'm going to kind of show in this video. Now, even with my mark, I'm not always going to be right on. Matter of fact, more often than not, I'll miss it by a little bit because I jump blindfolded. I just thought it'd be more fun that way for people. So I'm going to look at the map, okay? What I tend to do at this point is if I'm going to drop right on the line, then I'll look straight ahead. If I'm not, what I do is this. And I look for the area where I know I know it's going to line up with this mountain. So here we go. So I'm going to jump. And I'm going to go a little bit forward. And then I'm going to press my pad, not my pad, but one of my flipper buttons on my Pro controller. That way I dive straight down. And that's like, hopefully that's what I'm doing. I should be doing that. Go down a little faster. Now, I like to just float straight down so I know I land not on my mark, because that's just never happened, but I try to hopefully be as close as I can. That's kind of how it works. Once I float down and I hit, okay, now a vehicle is driving near me, so that's not good. I'm gonna run. Now, right now, I don't know where I'm looking, but what I'm gonna do is when I tend to land from watching lots of edit videos, I tend to be looking down a little bit. So I'm gonna bring the camera up on my thumbstick, and hopefully that works. That's kind of how I do that. I've played this game for a long time, so I understand a lot more about controls than maybe somebody who's just playing the game for the first time, or even just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go into a full prone. This is what I normally do. I'm going to look all the way up. And the reason why I know it's all the way up is because I'm pulling all the way back on my thumbstick. So I know I'm looking all the way up in the sky. And I just hold it for a little bit longer than normal to make sure that I am. Now, through practice, I've learned that going down twice, like clicking all the way up, puts me angled down pretty pretty good at the ground. So if I go back up once, and then I go back up a little bit, like just a little bit, I've learned through practice and time that sets the horizon line for the viewer. And that's kind of where I try to keep it when I cut my shorts and my videos. So that way it's easier for somebody watching to be able to watch it, right? Because for me, it doesn't matter. I'm blindfolded. But for my viewers, it gives them something to look at. And that's why I do that. Now, I go by a lot of sounds in this game when I'm playing. You know, gunfire is one way to know where people obviously are at and where grouped people might be at. But also, planes going over. It doesn't mean that I'm in the circle, but you know the plane goes over the circle at some point in time. So I use the plane sound to get an idea if I'm like in the general area of where the circle could be. And I kind of try to figure out just by sound whether the plane's coming, you know, where the plane's coming from and where it's going. It doesn't always work, but it's just one of the many ways that I use to kind of stay in a certain place. So I'm going to bring my map up just so you as the viewer can see where I'm at. I might not be anywhere near the circle, or I might be in the circle, or I might be really close. You never know. So I'm going to take the map back off. Now on a big map like this, early on, using gunfire isn't really a good idea. So I'm going to crawl. And the reason why it's not a good idea is because it's a big map. People just land and start shooting each other. That doesn't mean they're in circle. What I tend to do at this point is wait for the plane to go over to get some basic concepts of like where I might be. And it's still all a guess. Or if people go by me in vehicles. Now, it's not always a guarantee, but more often than not, people in vehicles are heading towards the circle. Here we go. So that's where it sounds like the car's at. Actually, right there. Now, I do a lot of practice with my thumb movements to get like the camera lined up, but it doesn't always work. See, now the plane's coming over. So I know that that vehicle did not go far. So now during the match, many times I will do this. All the way up, all the way down. Not all the way down, but 2 clicks down, 1 click up, and then a little bit. It doesn't always line me up with the horizon line, the horizon line, but quite often it does, and that's why I do that. Now, again, I listen to a lot of sounds to try to get ideas of like where on earth I'm even going. Because I don't really know. I know I landed near my mark, so I know I'm not far from places like on this map, specifically like Pachinki and like even like going towards Upper Milta, like by Shelter and stuff like that. Sometimes I know I'll be kind of not going that direction because I don't really know, but I know those are like in range of where I landed to a certain degree. Okay, I'm just checking my volume, sorry, just to make sure. Vehicles and people heading certain directions are a huge way that I figure out directions to go. And again, it's not 100%, but it works quite often. So I know to follow people and vehicles that way. The question is how far am I from circle or how far am I in circle? It's always a guess. Now, a lot of times if something crazy happens and I have to react quick, that's when the camera goes nuts because it's a lot harder for me to hold that horizon line view for the viewer if something crazy is happening and I have to go in a hurry. Something to think about. Now, the vehicle's going like kind of that way, it sounded like, so I'm gonna head that way. Oh, there's a glider, okay. Same thing with the glider. I'll try to listen to where it's going, if I can. Oh, they didn't, I don't think they got up in the air. And again, it's all guesswork. The blue could hit me any moment now, and then I know, oh geez, I'm pretty far from circle. Because the longer I'm lasting, the more I know I might be in circle. Or at least really close, and then I walk in. All right, I'm gonna try to. Okay, I'm gonna go that way now. Which is weird, but I feel like that's the direction that car was going, which I think was a roadster. It sounded like a roadster to me. And again, this is all guesswork, but it's all based off of movements I've practiced with and done outside of matches and things of that nature. And this is what I do. Crawling is the easiest way for me to keep, like, my camera stationed pretty good for people, for viewers, and things of that nature. And that's kind of how I do it. The question, though, is do I run, whether I run into rocks or trees or into buildings, which is never good. Okay, let's listen to where this car is coming from. And right now, it's coming from behind me. Oh, no, maybe not. It's out in front of me. I totally misheard that. So I'm listening. That's crazy. Oh gosh. That car just stopped like right there in front of me. Okay. Here comes the roadster. I'm gonna try to follow it. Oh gosh. How am I doing? Sometimes I push my camera up too high, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I can keep my thumb pretty steady. Oh! Let's run. They just hit me. This is where you're gonna see the camera probably go nuts. I'm gonna jump a lot. I'm gonna run. I'm jumping. I'm trying to. Oh, did I die? Okay. So I stopped moving. Once I realized I stopped moving, then more than likely, especially in that situation, then I know I'm dead. That was pretty crazy. Now I only got to 64th place. But at least this way, now people can understand when I'm playing a match. That was a crazy one. So they must have saw me laying on the ground and came driving back and hit me a couple times. Let's go ahead and watch the death cam just so we can see it. I want to see what their perspective is like. But at least now you can get an idea of how I do my blindfold matches. And I hope that you enjoyed this. It was fun to do this. Oh God, it's reversing. I didn't think I got hit that last time, but I did. Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought I was running. See, sometimes I mishear things. Sometimes I don't even get what I'm like doing in the moment, especially in situations like that where it's high energy. It's kind of chaotic. I don't know exactly what's happening. I pushed the wrong button and I must have stopped pushing the run button. But hey, I really hope you appreciated this. This was just going to be a clear, uncut video. I'm not going to edit this at all. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. This is for people who kind of think that I'm cheating all the time and stuff, because there are some people who make those comments, and I get it. From an aspect of somebody just coming in and watching a short that I highly edit, by the way, it's easy to think that I'm doing something to cheat the system, but I'm not. It's a lot of fun. I actually enjoy these matches. They're kind of terrifying because I'm helpless, and especially when people are running near me, it's kind of an interesting time. So hey, and thank you for stopping in, watching the video. And if you, like I said, if you enjoyed it, give it a like, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.